Hey folks, it's Pastor Rick, your Utah wine pastor. And today I want to give you an update on a wine night we had here on Friday, May 2nd. The good news is that we had several new faces attend, so that was very nice. The not so good news was that, in my opinion, at least a couple of the wines I chose were less than stellar. The theme of the evening was California Classics on Sale. It seemed like a good idea at the time. All these wines were, I guess all of them but one were on sale here at the wine store in Tooele. We started the night with a Ferrari Carano Fumé Blanc, which was the only one of the 5 wines we tasted that was not on sale. It had a tad more grapefruit taste than I usually like, but most of the rest of the folks seemed to like it okay. At $17 a bottle, I'd say it didn't quite deliver the goods. I wouldn't say it was overpriced, but I don't think it quite lived up to the 90-point rating that James Suckling gave this wine. Matter of fact, I don't think I'd buy it again. It seems to me like the Fumé Blancs from wineries, say like Dry Creek or French white Bordeaux, are much more appealing to me. The second one of the night that we tried was a Sonoma County Chardonnay, also from Ferrari Carano. And I would say that this wine was okay, but not spectacular, especially considering the $21 price tag, which was, $2 cheaper than the normal price. This wine had some complexity, decent fruit, and it had an interesting, slightly bitter finish that wasn't unpleasant. It reminded me just a bit of caramel that was just on the verge of being overcooked. And here again, I think Suckling's rating of 91 points is probably a little overgenerous. I'd give it maybe 86 or 87 points. And for that matter, I don't believe that I'd go searching for this particular wine again, especially when it goes off sale. The third wine of the night was a Rodney Strong Russian River Pinot Noir from the 2020 vintage. And I'll be honest, this was the wine that I was most looking forward to having. And frankly, it turned out to be the biggest disappointment, for me at least, of the evening. I generally love Russian River Pinots, but this one was just pretty much meh. It had that lighter color that we tend to associate with Pinot Noir, and the nose was decent enough, I guess. Nothing there to put you off. But on the palate, it was just sort of a jumbled mess, sort of chaotic mishmash. It lacked any clear definition or direction. And here again, it wasn't flawed. It's not like there was a big problem with the wine, but that delicate Pinot fruit that's just so easy to love in well-made French Burgundies and in well-done domestic Pinot Noirs, that was just missing. And this is sad because I'd had other Rodney Strong Pinots from other vintages and enjoyed them a lot. So, oh well. Maybe it was a little bit of bottle variation, or maybe my taster was off last night. I don't know. In any case, in my opinion, this wine deserved no more than a grade of C, maybe even C minus, considering the price tag of $19. Well, finally, we came to the final 2 reds of the night, and things started to improve, because it seemed to me that we'd gotten off to kind of a shaky start, especially considering the new faces we had joining us. You'd just like to wow them with some super picks. And we had to wait for the final 2 wines to really get going down that road. But Klein's Ancient Vine Zinfandel from Contra Costa County in California, as usual, did not disappoint. I always have a few bottles of this wine on hand. It's big black and red fruit flavors help it stand up to all kinds of food. I love this wine for casual eating, like with pizza or burgers. And it's easy drinking, and at $13 on sale, it's worth buying by the case. Too bad there's no case discount in Utah. You just have to wait and hope that the state, in its infinite wisdom, will offer to put something you like on sale. And at least this time, it all worked out. I'd definitely buy more of this wine at $13. But for me, the star of the show was the last wine, the 2022 True Myth Cabernet from Paso Robles in California. It also was on sale for just $19, and I would say it checked all the boxes you want from a big, juicy cab. Even at 14.8% alcohol, this wine was not hot. There was still a good tannin structure and a lot of that satisfying spice and red fruit on the palate that you love in Cabernets. This is definitely a wine I'd buy again, even at the regular price of $22. I'd give it a solid 91 or 92 point rating, and for me at least, it salvaged what could have otherwise been a disappointing evening. So I'd say don't be afraid to give True Myth Cab from Paso Robles a try. And I guess that's all for now. I'll post the handouts for some of the above on UtahWinePastor.com under the weekly tasting updates tab. Also, be on the lookout for my message for Sunday, May 4th. It'll be posted the next day or so. So with that, I'll say goodbye. Cheers and amen.